The Steelers getting that win over the Cleveland Browns. Russ, 15 for 26, 158, 2 tutties. They also had a good running attack as well. Jameis, perfect stat line, 2 interceptions, 2 touchdowns. It just makes sense. But the Steelers, they kind of need to win this game. They're sitting at 10-3 now, and this is going to get real interesting because the Steelers still have to play the Chiefs on Christmas. Might be some wiggle room there. But I don't think it's going to happen, but just for the lulls, could you imagine if the Steelers got the 1 seed in the AFC? That would be the greatest thing ever in terms of just all the BS.
Right. They've already lost too many games, though. They can't get the 1 seed.
It would just be amazing.
I mean, I guess they could. The Chiefs got to lose
the same thing as
3. They got to lose 3. So this is our little playoff picture here.
I disagree with that, Woody. I don't think they're the worst 12-1 team in history. I think they're not. I think the Steelers from a few years ago were worse. And they were not. When they lost to Washington, right? That was their first loss.
Yeah. The Chiefs they're 2 things. They are a very beatable 12-1 team, but they're also a very good 12-1 team that nobody can beat. So you figure it out.
Yeah, Gord, you can add that too. It's just a matter of how long do you pay Sam Darnold then, and that is a difficult question.
Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 AFC teams eliminated. Just 1 NFC team.
It's just the Giants.
God, I hate the gap in the AFC right now. But
I realize it.
If the Bengals lose tonight, I believe they are out as well.
They'll be done.
I believe.
The
Dolphins lose less than 1% chance, so maybe they're not completely out of it, but
the Dolphins were able to hold on and win in overtime. And they were able to get that win over the Jets. The Jets officially eliminated, so that's now 14 years that they haven't made the postseason, which is the longest in any of the major sports, which is
nice. Jets.
Did you see that Aaron Rodgers press conference super quick? Like the clip when he was asked about that to reflect on them not making the playoffs in 14 years. And Rodgers like, what's your question? He's like, well, I just want you to reflect on that. He's like, well, I'm only a part of that for a year. So this 1 season, that's on me.
Yeah.
It's not great in New Jersey right now. It's not great.
What do you want me to do is 1 season? Hey, yeah. I'm Italian now that I live in Jersey, baby.
Don Rodgers. But I think the Bengals, they'll be out sooner rather than later, and it'll just be disappointing for Joe Burrow. But I mean, coming up, the Panthers eventually, the Bears, yes, the Saints, yes, the Cowboys, they're going to be out eventually. These teams are holding on, and the Cardinals, man, talk about that game. I picked the Cardinals. I shouldn't have picked the Cardinals. I should have picked the Seahawks. The Seahawks defense is looking good. Charbonnet had himself a nice day. Cardinals, they had a shot to win that division. I think that might be done, though.
Yeah, Charbonnet was the difference maker in that game for Seattle. Let me see here. Seahawks? Let me look at something.
They got a game on Sunday Night Football on it. Let's go against the Green Bay Packers coming up.
Packers, and they close out the season with the Rams. That will be very cool. We were talking about those scenarios, I think, Friday. And with the Rams win, that gets a lot more interesting. I think the Rams are a better football team than the Seahawks. But the Rams they're still a little inconsistent.
Yeah, consistency.
So, and I'm not saying it's by like a lot, but
still doing it though.
That'll be interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
This week for bye weeks was terrible for the NFL.
Yeah. Last week,
the Ravens were on a bye. The Texans were on a bye.
Jacobs.
The Colts were on a bye. The Broncos were on a bye, and the Commanders were on a bye. So you have all playoff teams and 1 team in the race on a bye. And to have that many teams have that late of bye is kind of stupid. It's really messing up power rankings, is what I'm saying.
So, your power rankings would be all over the place.
You would have, when you have that many teams in the race, you kind of want at least one more game that would have been interesting for the weekend slate. This is probably the least interesting weekend of football we've had this year. There are some crazy games, but
yeah. Well, Geno has 1 more year left on his deal, so I'm assuming that they're going to hold on to him for 1 more year because it's not it's the cap hit goes up $12 million, so it's a 26.4 cap hit now, and it's 38.5 next year. But I think you rock with him for at least another year, and then maybe you just don't renew his contract after that if you're in a position to draft.
Yeah, you got to find his replacement. And are you comfortable with Sam Howell, or do you want a different Sam? There's another Sam you can maybe go get.
6:30, 7 p.m. Eastern, like it has for the past 14 weeks. So sometime around there tonight, at some point, that's when script will come out. That's the point. But on top of that, besides Steelers getting a win, the Buccaneers, talk about that. They were able to take care of business.
Coward. I'm glad you're a better father, though. That's a cowardly move.
I mean, it's tough being a Cleveland Browns fan. It is. It's been.
They
tough.
do have it the worst.
The Buccaneers, so AOC, Aiden O'Connell, he is out for the year. That sucks a lot. So he's out. Mayfield,
did they say what his injury was yet?
Thought it was his knee. I could be wrong. Hold on.
This is knee or leg. I didn't know if it was a broken leg or
it was his knee injury. Yeah, it was
ACL.
Yeah, they said knee. So that sucks. Yeah, season-ending knee injury. So that is very unfortunate. I mean, the Raiders season was already over, but
yeah,
it doesn't help. But yeah, I mean, for the Buccaneers, I've been saying this now I've been saying it for probably about a month now, that they just seem like the most consistent team in the NFC South. And Buccaneers fans be like, have you seen us play? And I'm still saying that because of how not so great the Falcons are. The Saints are injured to hell. I don't think they're doing anything. And the Panthers are looking better, but they've lost too many games. So it looks like it's going to be the Buccaneers winning that division, unless the Falcons just remember how to play football.
Yeah. The Bucks too, Bucky Irving left the game with a back injury. So I think that's something Bucks fans are going to be concerned about. I think a lot of their success kind of rides on Bucky down the stretch as well. What's also kind of funny is Jameis, who was drafted by the Bucks, is playing for the Browns. Baker, who was drafted by the Browns, playing for the Bucks. Both of them kind of have this flaw where they turn the ball over just a little too much. And Baker's kind of quietly had that problem. And I think he had another couple picks in this game. And I'm not even saying it's always like their fault, but Baker, he's going to fire some passes that are going to give other teams chances to beat them. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with Tampa down the stretch here. But they feel like the best team in the South.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to win a game, in the postseason. It just depends on who that matchup is going to be. Because the Packers right now, we're taking a look at the NFC West and NFC South because they're going to wind up being, unless, depends what happens with the Vikings. But, they're either going to be the 5 or the 6 seed, it looks like, for the Packers. So waiting and seeing, my friend. Yeah. If Broncos beat Indy and Miami loses, we clinch, right? Let's see. I don't know if the playoff scenarios will be out already, but
I think Denver. Well, I don't know. I thought the Broncos have to win 2 games.
All right.
Maybe that's right, because that would be Broncos would be 9-5, Colts would be 6-8. So yeah, I think that makes sense because the Colts would be 3 games back, and the Broncos would have won the head-to-head.
I think we're just going to have to wait a day or two for those playoff scenarios. So. Steelers come to that number 1 seed. I'm telling you, that Christmas game is going to be magic. It might not be good magic. It's going to be devil magic, but it's going to be great.
Who do the Chiefs play next? That's the other question.
Who do they play next?
I think they got an easy game, don't they?
They got the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, yeah.
So
they'll beat the Browns.
Could be an interesting game. Yeah, the Chiefs got Browns, Texans, Steelers, Broncos. Exactly, Funky. Yeah, I'll let that hate flow through you. Through you. And then tonight we got the Simpsons game between the Bengals and the Cowboys. I picked
man. That's me, Marge.
That was beautiful. Beautiful.
That's my one impression.